I'm playing catch up since I conked out yesterday before I could do any videos. One of the things on my drive here, which is another reason I like to at least disconnect for a little while, but another thought that came to me on my drive here today was how blessed I am to have experienced lessons that taught me humility. And I thought about this. So in the speech that I was preparing for, the goal is to have some core stories that in the event that you have to give an impromptu speech, you have stories that you can pull from. And I was thinking about one of those stories, which I actually didn't put into practice today, but it was a pretty embarrassing moment for me in the moment as a kid, and pretty much being called out, and yet that lesson is something that has really kept me humble. And I used to not be able to say that I carried humility. I didn't know if I did, because usually when you talk about it, you're not, right? But I never think that I can't improve. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I always feel like there is room for improvement, always. And I know, because I experienced this at a young age, that you cannot get too big for your britches. Like, you can learn from anyone at any time. And just because you don't agree with everything they say, there's probably some gem in there that you get to take away from that experience that nobody else is going to get to. And as I'm getting ready to go get my lunch, I thought, what else is something that has really stuck with me today? And this is actually something that has stuck with me since I was 12 years old, learning to ride cutting horses. And that is that it doesn't matter if it's not your trainer that's telling you to do something. It matters if anybody gives you any sort of advice. And just because someone's a non-pro and is not a trainer doesn't mean you can't learn from them. And that is a very solid takeaway as I apply that same principle throughout different things in life. And, one of the things that I experienced, this was last week, was somebody really, really wanting to be right and stopping the progress because they wanted to be right. And when we lose the ability to humble ourselves and look from a different perspective or see with a different set of eyes, all we are doing is creating division. And so remember that just because it's not the way you did it doesn't mean that there's not another way to do it. And learn from those people and learn that other way and put that in your toolbox to use at a different time, different place.